If you are about to have ankle surgery or you're in those first few weeks of recovery, this video is for you. I'm about to share 5 things that I learned from my recovery that I wish I knew before going for surgery.
A very welcome back to my channel, everybody. If you're new here, my name is Khaled and I've been documenting my recovery post ankle surgery. I'm just over 9 months since I've had that surgery. I tore my peroneus brevis tendon playing football, so I had the surgery to repair that tendon. I had my peroneus longus tendon cleaned up or debrided and my ATFL reconstructed for better stability. A little disclaimer, this video is not going to be medical advice, it's just my own experience from recovery. But I do believe if you are going through something similar to what I went through, this video will help. The first topic to discuss is that the first 2 weeks of recovery are brutal. I thought going into my recovery I was ready for this, but I was not. When I reflect back on my recovery, collectively, both physically and mentally, the first few weeks are definitely the hardest. As you go on with your recovery, there's some other times where things are more physically demanding and then others are more mentally, but collectively, the first 2 weeks are definitely the hardest. In my case, I was elevating my leg for over 20 hours a day. That's literally going from your bed to the couch, back to bed for the guts of 2 weeks. And mentally, if you are not prepared for that, it can hit you hard, like it did for me. Key advice I could give to you from my experience is before your surgery, if you can, set up a designated area for your recovery. That would include a little side desk that will store all your medication, your snacks, your drinks, laptop, books, phone chargers, whatever it is to help you get through each day of that recovery. Another key thing would be to get the proper elevation pillow. I did not think of this, and then when I had to elevate my leg, I was just using pillows from around the house and they weren't really comfortable. I would recommend getting one that extended over your knee for more comfort. Very key to your recovery. Another key thing to get would be a shower chair and also a second chair for your leg. Because you're in a cast, you can't get the cast wet, so that's very, very important. And a little side note, if you are someone that likes to sleep on your side, prepare yourself. I had to sleep on my back for over a month. In a nutshell, those first few weeks were very, very tough. Number 2 on the list, your mental health will be tested. From the research I've done before my surgery and throughout my surgery online, I don't really feel like this one's talked about enough, especially for men. The isolation, the boredom, the loss of independence, they all come down and hit you at once. I live with my girlfriend, and while I was recovering in those first couple of weeks, she was working Monday to Friday, so I found myself in my apartment alone a lot of the time. There would have been times where I felt lonely, frustrated, and my mind would have started to play tricks on me. What I adapted to over the course of those couple of weeks was trying to build some sort of a routine. That included getting up and going to bed at the same time every day, having food at the same time every day, breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever it was, journaling. Writing down how I was feeling that day was very, very important to your mental health and my mental health. Kind of jotting down ideas about what I wanted to do when I got back to full recovery, just to try to keep my mindset in a positive state of mind. Another thing for me, especially in the first few days, was that I binge watched a lot of TV and played a lot of PlayStation. That was a lot of screen time for me, so I asked my girlfriend to buy me a 1,000 piece jigsaw just to help with getting away from screens for different times during the day. That was really important, and I do enjoy doing the likes of jigsaws, so I would every day just throw on a music album or a podcast and just jot away at the jigsaw for a couple of hours per day, and it really did help. And by the time I got my cast off, by the time I got my boot off, I was back up on one crutch. I finally got the jigsaw completed. Very, very proud moment. Something I want to close this point off with is that if you are feeling low in those first few weeks, don't worry, that is normal. As the weeks progress and you start to get a bit more independence back, you start walking, get more mobility in your foot or ankle, that feeling will pass. That will tie us into number 3, which is crutches and mobility are harder than you think. I've used crutches more than once in the past, but never like this. I was using those crutches for about 6 to 7 weeks full time, so my arms never really got a minute to rest. Anytime I would get up, go for walks, make food, go to the bathroom, whatever it was, I was using the crutches. So my wrists and shoulders were in bits a lot of the time. I even rented a mobility scooter, but it was way too early for me. If you think about it, in those first couple of weeks, I had severe swelling all the way from my knee to my toes. So I could not keep my foot down for more than 10-15 minutes or else I'd be in severe pain. So I couldn't use it. It was basically a waste of money for me, and my recommendation to you guys is if you want to get a mobility scooter, I would probably wait for week 3 to 4 when the swelling has kind of eased a bit and the pain has eased a bit. Number 4, swelling and pain lasts way longer than you expect. This is obviously something I did anticipate before surgery. If not, I would have been in cuckoo land. My surgeon told me it would last about 6 months, and I did believe him, but I didn't think of the repercussions of the swelling. Swelling affects everything. Your mobility, your range of motion, and dictates even what shoes you can wear when you get back walking. And in my case, it lasted up to around 5-6 months. And then you throw pain on top of that. Obviously the first week is very tough. You're heavily medicated, but you do get that burning sensation, that kind of knife cutting sensation due to the incision, but that kind of changes into a stiffness, tightness, and then flare-ups as you push on with your recovery and activities. This one here is very, very frustrating, and it's something you don't really anticipate before your surgery. You know you're going to get that swelling, you know you're going to get that pain, but not to this extent. I don't have any more swelling, which is good, but I do get kind of flare-ups after certain activities in the gym and when I run. Before we continue with this video, if you do like this content, please subscribe to my channel and let me know in the comments below how you got on with your recovery. So the last one on the list I want to discuss is that progress is not linear, especially with walk. I guess this is the biggest point that I learned, and is probably the most humbling. I thought I'd be walking again by month 4 perfectly, but I wasn't. There was some days where it was amazing, I was making great progress, and then maybe the next day I felt like I was taking a few steps back. Something to be mindful of, and something very important to understand, is that your recovery is going to be full of ups and downs, highs and lows. You just have to keep positive and keep working through them. But also importantly, listen to your body. Take breaks when you need it, and push on when you feel confident and strong enough to be able to do so. One vital bit of information I can give you is to track your progress. Not daily, but weekly. Whether it's a Monday, a Tuesday, a weekend, whatever it is, track how you're feeling, how you're walking, how you're doing certain exercises in the gym, even if you're running at this point, just to see how the last 7 days have gone for you and if you've made any progress. As I just said, if you do it every day, you might feel really good one day, and then the next day you've gone backwards, so you're going to feel all over the place and it's not going to help you. So it's very important for 2 reasons. One, obviously, as I said, to track that progress, to show that you've made progress, which will tie into number 2. It will help your mental health. It will help you stay positive, because you're going to see after 7 days, okay, I've got 50 more steps in that I got last week. I've able to run an extra kilometer. I'm able to do a few more squats in the gym. Whatever it is, it will help your mental health and will help you stay motivated, determined, and positive. And that is it. That is 5 things I wish I knew before surgery. If you are about to go in for surgery and about to start your recovery, I really hope this video helps you. And if you've already had surgery and maybe you're in the same phase of recovery as me, please drop your lessons in the comments below. I want to read how you got on, but also gives insight for other people who are going through something similar as well. We're all one big community. If you want some insight about how my recovery went over the last 9 months, I've been vlogging and documenting my whole recovery from start to finish on my channel. Feel free to check those videos out. And before we go, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. We're on the road to 500 subscribers. We actually have more subs on this channel than I have followers on Instagram, which is great. So take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next update.